shake, well, you may go, but this will bring you back. Been in the country, but I moved to town. I'm a total shaker from my head on down. Well, you may go, but this will bring you back.
Before the marches, before the speeches, there was Zora Neale Hurston, a quiet catalyst for the civil rights movement who sparked a cultural and artistic revolution that would change America forever.
Like my features, but you don't like me, don't you like my features, don't you shake my tree, well, you may go, but this will bring you back.
Zora Neale Hurston was born on January 7, 1891 in Notasulga, Alabama. However, she grew up in Eatonville, Florida, which became the first all-black town in the United States. After the death of her mother in 1904, Hurston joined a theatrical company at the age of 16. This path led her to New York during the Harlem Renaissance. Once she got to Harlem, New York, Zora Neale Hurston thrived. She quickly became a roaring success throughout the 1920s and 30s, publishing works such as Jonah's Gore Divine, Mules and Men, and her most famous, Their Eyes Were Watching God. Though her literary works gave her the most success, she also sung various songs such as Crow Dance, Wake Up Jacob, and the incredibly well-known railroad work song, John Henry. Additionally, she excelled in the drama scene, performing plays such as Colorstruck and Spears in 1926. During the period of the Harlem Renaissance, the main question was, is Black culture inferior because of its nature, or is it deemed inferior because of the environment in which it lives? Hurston took the latter stance and based the contents of her work on cultural relativism. This, according to the Oxford Review, is the philosophical perspective that posits a person's beliefs, values, and practices should be understood based on the person's own culture rather than be judged against the criteria of another culture. Through the anthropologies and fiction of Zora Neale Hurston, she proved that not only is Black culture rich and multi-layered and unique, it is not inferior to that of white culture. While this is provably true, the erasure of Black accomplishments, music, art, drama, and the overall experiences of Black Americans hindered the true value of it all and disconnected African Americans from their roots, even to this day. During and after the peak of her career, Zora Neale Hurston faced a lot of criticism, predominantly for her unconventional approach to describing the African American experience. Richard Knight, an American soul music composer, producer, and songwriter, criticized Hurston for her portrayal of African Americans in a way that might cater to white audiences, such as those in the minstrel shows. He said, her characters eat and laugh and cry and work and kill. They swing like a pendulum eternally in that safe and narrow orbit in which America likes to see the African American live, between laughter and tears. Similarly, she was criticized for her lack of a political engagement at that time. Unlike some of her contemporaries, such as W.E.B. Du Bois and Langston Hughes, she did not explicitly address segregation, racism, or civil rights in her articles and books. However, her work demonstrated that Black culture is distinct, resilient, and richly nuanced. Through her studies and novels, she helped preserve and celebrate African American culture, traditions, and folklore. As for feminism, she presented Black women as agents of their own independence, sexual freedom, and emotional fulfillment. She showed the intersectionality of discrimination through both race and gender, which was not commonly discussed at this time. During the Civil Rights Movement, Hurston's work helped reshape how African Americans saw themselves and how they were perceived by society. Her emphasis on pride and self-empowerment showed the beauty and complexity of Black life. Her work was almost forgotten. However, Alice Walker revived her literature and prevented it from fading into obscurity. Alice Walker said, her work had a sense of Black people as complete, complex, undiminished human beings, and that was crucial to me as a writer. Even though she was not directly involved in the political and social activism of the Civil Rights Movement, she inspired the new generation of intellectuals during the 1950s and 60s, including Toni Morrison and Maya Angelou. Morrison particularly cited Zora Neale Hurston in her own works to emphasize Hurston's language to describe the African American identity. Morrison's Beloved and Angelo's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings continue Hurston's legacy of voicing the life and struggles of being African American in the United States. Zora Neale Hurston had a deeply profound influence on African Americans' own knowledge of themselves and their position in American life. Her literary legacy, based on her affirmation of Black culture, identity, and folklore, was the intellectual and cultural foundation of a generation of writers, activists, and thinkers. Hurston's depiction of Black women as indomitable, independent, and self-determined has resonated for feminist and civil rights movements alike. Her writing educated others to continue representations of identity, survival, and empowerment in their own classic works. Zora Neale Hurston's celebration of Black life, her commitment to documenting African American history, and her unwavering belief in the richness of the Black identity remain a lasting legacy, shaping the powerful notions of the civil rights movement and beyond. Most importantly, Hurston gave a voice to the African Americans who had not yet found theirs.
They tell me no black, amazing, amazing. The baby set me crazy, amazing, amazing. The baby set me crazy. What's amazing on the dark and things amazing dark now. What's amazing on the dark and things amazing dark now. Oh, the mystery, oh, the mystery. The mystery comes from whiskey, oh, the mystery, oh, the mystery. The boat that told of whiskey. What's the mystery on the dock and the things the mystery black, black, black. What's the mystery on the dock and the things the mystery black, black.